A big thank you to the Tenora cheerleaders and a very tall Ram mascot, Chuck.
Very tall.
Another great introduction to the show.
Yeah, I mean, who's the kid that has the long neck to fill that thing out?
That's a good question. Welcome to week 13 of the Tim and Chuck Show, presented by Bat and Stevens Body Shop. We're here on location at Frickers of Defiance, and Chuck, week 13, one team left. We got Tenora playing for a regional championship. Moving on.
Yeah, lucky 13. They're playing well. I had a few miscues last week, but sometimes when you're in the playoffs, sometimes you just need to overcome some of those mistakes. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck.
Well, they got it done, and they're moving on. Yeah. Now, Chuck, as always, Ethan Matson, our videographer, goes out and he gets shots of what's happening at the game. And once again, we're talking about a banner. Check this one out.
I think this one was pre-ripped. They've had enough problems from this that they went out and bought a pre-ripped banner, I think.
Well, I felt bad for the cheerleaders because it looked like they were going to get run over.
Yeah, and who drew the short straw there? Hey, you get to hold it while the guys come out and run through.
Well, we got to get another banner. We've got a shot of a play here that we're calling the arm tackle.
That's right.
Yeah, we've got Brevin Renolette of Tenora coming up to make a tackle on Blake Trice, I think his name is. Grabs him by the arm, and then they do a little spin, and they both go down.
Yeah, coaches, you're always like, hey, arm tackle. We're not arm tackling here, we're ripping through. I guess this is a case of a true arm tackle.
And then, of course, back to the Ram, Chuck. Again, you talked about the tall Ram. Look at him doing a little dance on the sideline.
Hey, getting jiggy with it. I'd probably just aged myself by throwing that term out there, but the Ram's getting down.
All right, now before we go into our game of the week, we want to talk about a special guest that's going to be joining us here in a minute. Defiance head football coach Jerry Buti, who yesterday announced his resignation.
Yeah, I think it took a lot of people by surprise, and I think a lot of people are sad to see him go because he was a great coach, one of the best ever to come through this area. 26
years on the sidelines there.
Man, that's a lot of games. That's a lot of film to watch. I don't know how many hours. Maybe he's calculated the hours, but that's a lot of work and a lot of young men that he's affected.
And joining us is Defiance head football coach Jerry Buti. Jerry, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks, Tim. If I'd have known I could be on the show, I would have retired earlier. Get this honor to be on here.
Jerry, like we said before, you've been doing this for 26 years at Defiance, 34 overall. Why now? Why is the time to walk away as a head football coach?
I got to tell you, I'm not burnt out. I still enjoy being around the kids, the game, the coaches, the coaching fraternity has always been real positive for me. But we haven't done as well lately, and 2-18 over the last 2 years. I just think it's time for a change. And I'll steal a line from Steve Spurrier when he said a few weeks ago he thought he was the right guy for the job when he took it, and he doesn't think he's the right guy for it anymore. And I have to repeat that. And in 1990, I thought I was the right guy for this job to turn it around. And in 2015, I don't think I'm the right guy anymore. I think it needs a fresh face, new energy, and to get our kids fired up again and get this place back on the map.
You mentioned 1990. When you took the program over, what were your goals when you came in?
Well, when you're coming to a school that had lost, I don't know how many straight years, it certainly isn't a state title. You want to just gain respectability first, and I think we did that. But coaching is it's all timing, and when you walk into a place, and Defiance was ready to win. One of the negatives on Defiance that hung over their head was negative parental involvement. I've never experienced any of that here. Our parents have always bought in, and that group certainly did and got us rolling and led up to a state title and several playoff appearances before and after that. So I have no complaints. Our family owes everything to Defiance. My wife loves it here. Our kids got a great education, got to play sports on successful teams, made good of it. So it's all been positive for us.
Well, Jerry, you mentioned that state championship. What was it about that team in 1997 that took you to the heights in Ohio?
Well, when that group walked in as freshmen, they said they were going to win a state title when they walked in as freshmen, and hey, that's fine with us, but they put the work in, they backed it up, and that was not a team of great athletes, but it was sure a team of committed athletes and really worked hard. And we had our standouts. You don't win a state title, believe me, without that. But we as many great players as we had on this team, we had some great role players also, the average guy that maybe never got his name in the paper but played every down. So it takes all that, takes some luck, can't hit too many Catholic schools along the way if you want to win. And I'm Catholic, I can say that. So, you got to be a little lucky. We never had very many serious injuries, and when we did, the kids toughed it out. So it was a great experience.
Coach, a lot of long hours go into everything that you do, during the football season. What are you going to do to fill that void now? Have you thought about that?
Well, I've got an AD's job that's pretty busy, but that is a big void, and it'll be interesting. I don't know. I know my wife doesn't want to see me at home any more than she already does. So, but I have a grandson now, so maybe I can fill the time with him.
Well, Jerry, one of the things that has been added to the Defiance-Napoleon rivalry especially has been The Rock. What did it mean to you to win The Rock? It's your last Defiance-Napoleon game. You're going out with it.
Yeah, it was good to end that streak, losing to Napoleon, and I got to give credit to everybody over there too, and you guys for making that such a great rivalry and adding to it. A material thing like that adds a lot to a game like that, like it needed it. Anyway, with the enthusiasm for the game. But Napoleon's always brought great coaches and great kids to the game, and we'd like to match with that, and I think we have. And they've always been great games. And, to making it on Thursday night even made it extra special. And then you guys providing the Rock on there gives your kids something to walk past. In a season like ours, that's something to hang your hat on when you're 2-8 and you beat a good Napoleon team. So we're very fortunate, and it means a lot to have that in our school right now.
Jerry, I guess one last thing. Here's just one of many tweets from people that you've affected, and here's Tori Strock, who tweeted, there is no one that I respect more in the business, gracious in victory and defeat, the consummate competitor. That's what Tori had to say about you. I know that you're not a big social media guy, but it kind of exploded last night from people that you've coached to parents to so many people in the community. I guess, what do you think about the outpouring for you after you announce this decision?
Well, it means a lot. I mean, obviously, interesting. And Tori's one of my best friends in coaching, does a tremendous job. Napoleon's very fortunate to have him. And the rivalry we had is, and he always explained it best, was we only hate each other on that one day. The rest of the time we get along great. And he goes through the same stuff we do, so we can relate. But the outpouring from people, it feels good, to know that people benefited from what we've done. And believe me, it's not just me. It's my assistants. It's our school administration. It's kids from the past coming back and coaching with us. And certainly not me. I just happen to be always in the center of it. But it means a lot. You know what means more is that some of the people that have written back that I didn't even coach, they were just students of mine, and that means a lot.
Jerry, we congratulate on a great career and for what you've done for the community. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks.
I enjoyed covering you for 14 years.
Yeah, and I was going to say that was a real positive through all the time. I loved our interviews, and especially the stuff that never got in the paper. It was even better.
Again, a big thank you to Jerry Buti for joining us after announcing his retirement.
Did you know with an online subscription to the Crescent-News, you can read every article, see every photo, download and read each printed page, and see all of the deals offered by our advertisers? For only $7 a month, you'll know the news in Northwest Ohio as it happens.
And we're back, and Chuck, we're going to talk about this week's game of the week. Van Buren and Tenora playing for the Division 6 Region 20 Championship. Van Buren comes in 9-3 off an exciting victory over Delta on the last play. And we've got Tenora coming in at 10-1. And they've been in the regional championship game before. Tell me about this matchup.
Yeah, I think experience is definitely going to help the Rams. They've been there before. And all these kids for the Rams, with all their long tournament runs that they've had, that's just extra weeks of practice that they've had for the experience. And then, when the lights come on a Saturday in the playoffs with a big trophy on the line, the Rams have that experience. So, they're going to probably play a little bit looser than a Van Buren team that, comes in to the playoffs in that region with the worst record. But with all the shakeups in week one, man, Van Buren is really rolling. So it's going to probably be a really good game.
Nick DeVore rushed for 195 yards for them last week, Chuck. No 1 yard bigger than on 4th and goal on the last play of the game. He dives into the end zone, hits the pylon, and gives them the win over Delta 29-28. Crazy game, it sounds like.
That is phenomenal. I talk to my running backs all the time about we always get a yard, no matter what. But I tell you what, sometimes those yards are hard to get. So when you give him the ball to a young man like that, that says a lot about, hey, coach, give me the ball, and what he was able to do in probably the highest pressure-packed situation that he's going to face maybe in his lifetime.
It looks like the Rams are playing well on both sides of the ball, Chuck. I know they gave up 23 last week to Colonel Crawford, but that was a big physical team, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. I think that just is another test that Tenora has passed, because up to this point, they hadn't really seen a big physical team like that. You know, the GMC, we don't have a lot of big physical guys up front, and Colonel Crawford has them all the way across the board. So with Tenora being able to handle the big physical play, they know they can handle athletes with spread teams like Wayne Trace will throw at you. They know they can handle big power teams like Colonel Crawford throw at you. If you're the Rams, you got to be coming in this game real confident.
Yeah, well, we wish them luck, and win or lose, we'll be back for Week 14, and either we'll be talking about them playing in the Final Four or wrapping up the season. Yeah. Well, it's that time of the show, Chuck, where we hand out some awards, and let's start with the Rose Insurance Collision of the Week. Chuck, each and every week, what do they say about that?
Every week, when the big hits are handed out, they say there is lots of little collisions, but there's no big hits or big collisions like the Rose Insurance Collision of the Week.
What do you got?
Well, coming from that Tenora Colonel Crawford game from last week, you see Colonel Crawford quarterback Will Kirkpatrick. He throws one up in the air to his receiver Noah Ferguson, who you always got to catch it the first time, because if you don't, people are going to come looking for you. And in this case, Brevin Renolette is handing out the punishment downfield, so there's no catch. Awesome hit.
Giving him the cold shoulder,
Cold
Chuck.
shoulder.
That is our Rose Insurance Collision of the Week. And now it's time for our Jacobs Meets Play of the Week from that same game. We got Tenora deep in Colonel Crawford territory. Brevin Renolette pitches to Riley Nago. He runs left and decides, you know what? I'm getting in the end zone, where he runs over Brock Kosmeyer for the score. Puts the Rams up 21-9. They go on to win 28-23.
Man, I love violent running. There's nothing like it in the world.
That's our Jacobs Meets Play of the Week. And now, Chuck, we would like to thank our sponsors, like we do each and every week, for making this possible. Bat and Stevens Body Shop. We've got Frickers of Defiance. We got Rose Insurance, and we've got Jacobs Meats. Thank you, guys.
Oh, great. Appreciate all you do for area high school athletics.
As always, follow us on Facebook, Twitter. Any questions, email us. And before we get out of here, Chuck,
Great.
I have one last question.
Sure.
Any words of wisdom?
Well, you know, as the teams are dwindling down, you know, and the stakes get higher and higher, all I keep thinking is there can be only one.
See you next week.